Just so proud of our team, our seniors, our fans. Our student section was unbelievable, the band. Just a fight, you know. I mean, that's a good old-fashioned SEC football game right there. Both defenses playing really well. Both lines of scrimmage were a war every play. Really fortunate that Tyler Beatty really came on for a strong in the third and fourth quarter. He actually called the pass to Nico. He told me they were yelling screen and said, we call it burn, call burn. I was like, no, that's a crazy idea. And I was like, no, that's probably a pretty good idea. So we called it and hits for a touchdown. So then he, puts us on his back right there at the last two plays. So really proud of Tyler, proud of Connor. He's faced a lot of criticism, faced a lot of boos, but when we needed him, he stepped up and made the plays we needed him to make. And that's what a quarterback has to do. He's got to be mentally tough. And then our defense. I mean, can't say enough about the job Steve's doing right now. Those guys are tackling, they're stopping the run, they're playing good in coverage. We had a true freshman play all game tonight at left corner and just played really well. Tackled, covered, broke up passes. Allie Green probably had his best game since he's been at Mizzou. So really proud of all those guys. And Blaze Aldridge's play down there on the speed option to make the pitch and then tackle the guy short. Just incredible effort by those guys. They were not going to be denied. So with that, I'll open it up for questions. Stevens family, good to see y'all.
Coach, I saw that smile that you had when you watched your players get in the rocks. I guess
Yeah.
For the direction of this program, what does this mean to you guys?
Seniors are, it's interesting now, right? Because seniors transfer in, some of them have been COVID seniors. They've gone through a lot. For the last 18 months, I don't think anything's gone the way they expected it to go with COVID, an extra year, a new coach, new position coaches at multiple places. And yet they continued to show up every day and give us everything they had. And, all week we just talked about, man, this is senior week. These guys deserve that chance to grab that rock. And that was special. And, I promised Mike Mayetti he'd go bowling if he came back. That's the only reason he came back, because he'd never been to a bowl game. We came through today for that, so that was good.
Can you take us through the decision to go for two there, and what goes into that conversation, and why you feel so confident?
Well, it's a strategic decision. If you have offense the second set, you got to go back on offense, and you have to go for two. So why have to go back on offense and then have to go for two? You might as well do it then. We felt really good about the play. Connor made a hell of a play. The first read is a fast flat by Tyler, and the end went really wide, which then took away our second read, which was the under by Barrett. And you're trying to get a flood to that area. But last year when we put the play in, our offensive staff said we need to make the Y just run a hide route as a throwaway. And if it's whatever reason it's not there, maybe the quarterback has that option. Every Friday we practice that play, and yesterday, normally we just go through it mindless. We come out and we just throw the tailback. For whatever reason, yesterday, Connor came out, boom, fakes it to the looks, buys the exact same play he did right there and threw it up to Daniel and caught it. I thought, well, that's interesting. And then practice execution makes game day reality.
What's it called?
Good luck telling you that. I'm not telling you that crap. We're going to use it again.
Eli, you mentioned Connor, and you're struggling at times out there, and the boos were impossible to ignore. Just
Yeah.
For him to pull that off late there, what's it say about him and your faith in him?
I think it's everybody has a right to express their opinions. That's fine. But these young men are playing as hard as they possibly can, and they're not perfect. None of us are. And the number one quarterback requirement is ignore the noise. And all that's a lot of noise. And you can have one of the worst games you've ever had, and with 2 minutes left to go in the game, you got to be a rock. And you got to believe in yourself. And Connor's doing that, and I get it. The most popular person on a football team is a backup quarterback. But right now, Connor gives us the best opportunity to win the game. And I thought he stepped up, made some big plays. That throw to Toski was really awesome in the first quarter. So we'll continue to get better.
I remember after the Boston College game, Connor said if you all had scored, you were going to go for two. Is that something you communicate to your team before they get the ball after Florida scores?
Yeah, I mean, we practice all these scenarios, so they always know that if we're up second, we're going for two.
You mentioned Tyler Beatty. Towards the end of that third quarter when he has those two big runs, I mean, how much does that help just get the offense going, kind of change the momentum a little bit?
Well, it felt like we were playing downhill most of the game or uphill. The first play out of halftime where we messed the snap up and then had a intentional grounding. I mean, I felt like we were inside the 20 every start point. So for him to kind of flip the field on us was huge and really gave us an opportunity to, I don't even know if we scored any, but it gave us something. It was good.
Coach, the run defense compared to today and compared to the beginning of the season is like night and day difference.
It's very observant of you. Huh?
What kind of sparked the change in how
I think our D-line's playing much better, and I think our two interior backers are playing really hard downhill. Chad Bailey and Blaze Aldridge are playing very physical downhill. Our safeties are tackling well in the box. So, it's just a combination of doing what we've been doing, but better.
Eli, in low-scoring games like this, to have a kicker like Harrison Davis who can come out and kick 3 field goals to give you that scoring boost, what does that just say about the importance of having a consistent person at that kicker position?
Yeah, you got to have a guy who's, Mr. Reliable, and we were very fortunate to have those 9 points on the board.
Eli, you were obviously happy when the win happened. When you saw Daniel catch it, what was your reaction? Who did you grab, and how did you guys get involved?
It's all a blur, man. It's all a blur. I think Luke grabbed me. I feel a little sore right here, so he kind of hugged me pretty hard. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of all a blur.
Eli, you touched on it earlier, but just how big was that that play that Blaze blew up the option on the sideline in the fourth quarter? Just how big did that be?
Yeah, it forced him to a field goal, which I think at that point I don't remember exactly this. I think that led to them having to kick a field goal to tie the game. So obviously that puts it in a different scenario. We got the ball back. I think we punted and then got the sack and then went down there, and obviously we missed that next field goal, but gave us a chance to play with game control. We were in control of the game.
That was one example of many of making a tackle. I don't remember any missed tackles tonight for your defense. What has led to such improvement in that area over the course of the season?
I don't know if y'all know this, but we actually practice. We practice Tuesday and Wednesday, and we do tackling circuits and stuff. So, yeah, that's just it. We've been practicing, and I think so many teams at this time of the year are just trying to get the season over with. Our team's playing for something. They're playing for each other, and they're trying to get better. And that's a good sign.
So it seemed like they were happy to go to overtime there at the end. You're using your last timeouts. You're just trying to see if you can set up anything for Harrison there.
Yeah, I was trying to see if we could maybe we want to make them execute a special teams play. So can we make them execute a punt? You all remember the Michigan State game, and he had a punt shank earlier in the game that would have put us in field goal range. So, you're just trying to see if put the play in their hands, and then when we got the ball, obviously with 2 seconds left, there was no reason to risk anything.
How much are some of the play calls that you call based off of the defense focusing so much on Tyler? It seems like some plays don't even go his way that we see him pull the
Yeah.
a different way, and you can kind of build off that.
Yeah, they were playing something totally different tonight. They were playing a base defense with the Sam linebacker, which they're normally a 4-2-5 team. So it was a little bit different than what we had expected, and we were struggling a little bit with our D-line.
Eli, when you look at where this team was a few weeks ago to where it is now, being able to clinch a bowl game, what stands out to you? What kind of makes you most proud about the progress they've made to be able to clinch that bowl game?
They just keep fighting. I think some of you, not y'all are doing your job, but people question our effort and fight in a couple of games, and that really bothered us. We worked way too hard not to give it everything we got, and during the bye week, I think this team made a recommitment to each other and to this team and to this program. And we're not perfect. We don't play perfect. We're not overly talented, but we play together. And Vanderbilt, we found a way, everybody doing their job. You know, even at Georgia, you know, the score didn't reflect how proud I was of that team because, man, such bad circumstances to go into that game and to fight the way they did for every inch, no matter what the score was. And then last week to find a way to win, and then this week, just really proud of them.
It might be hard to put in words so close to the end of the game, but I know LSU was a big win last year to get the program going. Arkansas felt like a big win as well. Where does this one kind of rank so far in your tenure here?
I don't know. It just happened. And I have no idea. It's good to get to 6 this year. So.
What are you going to do to celebrate?
Drink the rest of this Diet Coke. Go home. May or may not smoke a cigar.
Gonna watch some Star Wars?
I might.
Final question for Coach Drake?
What makes you so emotional when you consider this class at state the year?
I just, you know, people chose to come here, and some people didn't choose me, you know. And coming together is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. And we're just coming together, you know, whether it's the seniors who came back, whether it's through COVID, through adversity, through people leaving, through people coming. It's a process, and we're building on that process.
Final question?
May the force be with you.